Good evening, everyone. We'll now call back to order and resume the meeting of Budget Committee for the City of Brampton. Welcome, everyone. It's an evening of some weather, but we are going to proceed with item 6.1 under public delegations. But before we call the delegations down, just want to confirm with the city clerk that we have quorum.
Through you, Mr. Chair, we do have quorum. We have 4 members present in chambers. Vice Chair Vasante, Councillor Keenan, Councillor Paleshi, Councillor Santos, and online we have Councillor Fortini and Deputy Mayor Singh, so we do have quorum.
Thank you very much.
Peter, it's Mayor Brown. I'm online for the first 30 minutes, and I'll be in the City Council room.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you very much.
Hi, Peter. I'm also on. Councillor Medeiros.
Thank you, Mayor Brown, and thank you, Councillor Medeiros. So we'll now proceed with public delegations, and we have delegations with regards to the 2023-2025 budget. Our first delegation is from Tracy Pepe, Brampton resident. Welcome, Tracy.
Good evening, everyone. Nice snowy evening. I have 4 questions. Do you want me to ask the questions first, or do you want me to pause? How would you like to address this?
Well, Ms. Pepe, for your delegation, you do have 5 minutes, and you may proceed as you wish.
Okay. So the first question I have is regarding staffing, and I'm not sure who I'm delegating this to, whether it's council or to staff. And I noticed there is 58.2% of the budget allocated to staffing. One of the biggest issues we face in my area, in the downtown core, obviously is bylaw and bylaw officers. I noticed in the budget we're down 5. I understand it's been confirmed that's because of COVID. However, is the budget going to change specifically for bylaw officers moving forward? That's one question, meaning increase to replace the 5, and are we adding more? Question number 2 is related to the economic development, specifically in the downtown core. I understand there's 1.7 million allocated to Beehive, Cyber Tech Conference, the Innovation District signage, investment attraction, and the downtown plan, as well as a lot of capital investment. My question is to the economic development team in particular, what is the timeline for the development of the downtown core? I've been here 15 years, and the residents are asking because it feels like it's taking quite a long time to see types of change. Question number 3 is related to the hospital and the reserves. I read through the budget and I see the reserve for 22. I see the reserve for 23. The question is how much is currently in the reserve prior for the new hospital to be built? And my last question is related to the 56 kilometers, specifically the green tract that was purchased from the city, from the region, to the city, that was going to be allocated for green space from Orangeville to. I'm wondering what page of the budget is this allocated? This particular project is a budget. Where would I find it? I couldn't see it anywhere in the budget. Those are my 4 questions.
Thank you very much, Tracy. Do any staff wish to provide a response at this time?
Through you, Mr. Chair, I can tell you that we have no additional staff requests in the budget for 2023. We're reevaluating what we have in enforcement right now. We're reevaluating the processes and the technology we have, and then we will come back in 2024 and most likely have it asked then.
Okay.
Chair Vasante, maybe to help this resident understand the process for bylaw. Paul, could you explain, I believe the unit that is no longer funded was the provincial cannabis unit, which the provincial funding for no longer exists. That was a unit of bylaw officers that was funded by the province with implementation of the Ontario cannabis policy, which was initiated because of the Government of Canada's legalization of marijuana, and for the first few years they provided support for crackdown on impaired driving. Additionally, some of the not legal cannabis dispensaries that were plentiful across the province. Paul, is that correct? And if you could expand upon that.
Through you, Mr. Chair, yes, Mr. Mayor, you've very accurately described what is taking place. The government did give us funding previously for the cannabis unit. The funding was in the amount of enough financial support to employ 4 officers, 1 supervisor, and 1 clerk. We found out last year the funding had been concluded and that we wouldn't receive it anymore, and as such, we didn't have any more ability to retain those officers, and their job was specifically geared towards cannabis and investigation evaluation. So we thought we would once again reevaluate where our staffing model was and look towards the future to see if we needed to replace those officers.
I guess with the staffing question, it comes down to the number one issue in my area is the call to 311 and asking for bylaw enforcements, parking tickets, pre-active signs, having bylaw come out. Not necessarily a 311 hit on the phone call, but to take initiative to actually look at the communities where there's certain areas. There seems to be, obviously every ward is facing renters and various issues that comes up with. I understand there's a housing crisis, but it just seems when I do the numbers, 30% of the staffing of 58.2% is going to management, and that just seems really high. And I'm wondering, why isn't there more going towards workers who are actually implementing these services to help residents? That's my main issue. And residents and people who we've been speaking to, you council unanimously passed a bylaw for fireworks, which is great. But what are you going to do when you have to enforce it if you don't have the manpower and the staff? And it just seems like one is proactive and not addressing the other issue, which really is workers in the ground to assist the residents when they need, like icing, snow. Tomorrow there's going to be a lot of issues, and you just don't seem to have the staff in hand.
And I can tell you through Mr. Chair, I can tell you that over the last 6 years, council has been very good to enforcement bylaw and has given us staffing. So this would be the first year we really haven't obtained any new staffing, and that's why we're taking a bit of a pause to take a look to see where we stand. I can also tell you that our introduction of some technology has made our job quicker and better for the community in the sense that we are able to respond a little bit quicker, and the technology we do have to give out tickets is certainly way more advanced than we have ever had in years. Off the top of my head, I think, if you just give me a second, I can give you a number. Since 2016, just for parking tickets alone, I can tell you we've over doubled our production and parking tickets. In 2016, we gave out 32,000 parking tickets. And they were revenue generated for the city $2.6 million. With the advent of technology and the redeployment model, this last year we gave out 140,000 parking tickets with a revenue generation or a total fine issued of $6.2 million. So we are finding processes that are making it better for our deployment model to give out those tickets to go around. One of the things that we have is something called an AVL, what's the name? LPR, license plate reader. And this has now made us more effective in how we do our parking enforcement. It automates the system so our officers don't have to go out and do one check, one ticket. This machine will do a lot of checks and tell the officers when their violations are out there. We've piloted that for the last 18 months. We found it extremely successful, and I think it's in the budget that we're going after another one this year to supplement our enforcement efforts. So we are making small or large gains that way.
And I think you,
Sorry,
yeah.
so I don't want to have a debate taking place
No,
here
no,
at this
yeah.
time, but are there any other comments, Paul, that you wish to make just to address the questions from the delegation?
No, I think that should be sufficient.
Very good. And if there are any other questions that were asked, can we have staff commit to providing the answers as a follow-up to this committee? Absolutely. Very good. Thank you. Thank you, Tracy.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Next, we will go to our next delegation from the Downtown Brampton Business Improvement Area. Presentation by Susie Godfrey, the Executive Director, and Carrie Percival, the Board Chair. They are joining us virtually. Welcome, ladies.
Okay, thank you. I did want to preface to say Carrie Percival, our chair, is unfortunately not here or able to be here this evening, but I do have Rick Evans, our director and one of our executive members at City Council, as well as Sean Lieberg, who is on virtually, and I believe Mark Sitch, who is another director on tonight's call. So I just wanted to start my presentation.
Thank you, Susie, and I can acknowledge that some people have pointed Rick Evans out, so you're welcome to begin.
Thank you. And I did want to also say I'm also here with, most importantly, our treasurer, Maya Kuzmanov, who is at the City Council chambers as well. And I'm here tonight to present the Downtown Brampton BIA 2023 budget. Next slide, please. I wanted to start my presentation just by stating that the Downtown Brampton BIA currently works in a similar fashion to the City of Brampton budget timelines. And for this year, for 2023, we opened up budget workshops and discussions with the BIA membership in August and September of 2022. And following that, we hosted a number of meetings with our membership at large through our coffee talks, our committee team meetings, and eventually back to the board on the 2023 plans, and we're here tonight. Next slide, please. Okay, just briefly, I wanted to highlight that the mission of the Downtown Brampton BIA is to create the best environment for business success and positive community experience. Our three major areas of focus for our 2022 to 2025 strategic plan include membership focus, marketing, and outreach. And so following that, those three areas include that we have an active and engaged membership. From a marketing perspective, we're always focusing on people know who we are in the downtown core and all of our businesses and all the events that we do, and that we're supporting each other through our community through outreach. Next slide, please. I did want to briefly highlight this slide showcases our Downtown Brampton BIA Board of Directors. They're all volunteers, and there are 10 elected seats for the Board of Management, and we have 3 appointed positions, those being our councillors, Councillor Paul Visante, Councillor Dennis Keenan, and our treasurer, Maya Kuzmanov. Next slide, please. Okay, with regards to the Downtown Brampton BIA, we represent approximately 320 businesses and 140 landlords, and our key areas of service to our business owners and operators and landlords include advocacy, beautification, marketing and events, safety, and rolling out and continuing with our ever-evolving strategic plan. Next slide, please. Okay, with regards to advocacy, the BIA does a number of things, including welcome visits to new and existing businesses. We produce a membership booklet. We also produce seasonal newsletters that are printed in print format, and we do membership e-newses on a weekly basis and host a number of membership events. And we do have a number of rebates for our downtown businesses, including the outdoor beautification rebate, our marketing rebate, and the special event rebate. Next slide, please. With regards to beautification and safety, the BIA has been very active in a number of initiatives to continue to enhance the public realm. And I'm not going to go through all of the points here tonight, but I did want to highlight that the BIA has been very active with our Activate Downtown Brampton program. And in these photos, you'll see 2 photos of Vivian Lane and a number of initiatives that we did summer and fall and even into the holiday season with regards to bringing more activity to Vivian Lane. And we're also working on a number of new initiatives for 2023, including art interventions, downtown cleaning, greenscaping, and visual merchandising for the downtown businesses. Next slide, please. Okay, with regards to another part of our operations at the BIA is very involved in collaborating with the city and the region of Peel and other downtown stakeholders on a number of exciting projects that are happening in the downtown core, specifically to the integrated downtown plan and all of the exciting projects that are underway. So again, we bring all of this information to our downtown business owners and landlords and connect with the community to get input and advocate on behalf of the feedback that we receive with regards to these projects. And that's through our Downtown Development Committee. Next slide, please. Okay, with regards to marketing and communications, the Downtown Brampton BIA is very active. We do have a number of initiatives, so we're always marketing the downtown core. And of course, with everything that's happening with the downtown revitalization, we're finding new ways and better ways. We're always trying to think outside of the box to bring new marketing campaigns and ultimately more street onto the street in the downtown core. So again, there's a list of some of the initiatives with respect to marketing, and we do spend a significant portion of our BIA budget in this area. Next slide, please.
Excuse me, Susie, before you continue, just want to seek if we can add additional time for this delegation. So move. Councillor Keenan, please proceed, Susie.
Thank you. Okay, on this slide, I just wanted to highlight that another big role with the Downtown Brampton BIA is safety and advocating safety for the downtown businesses, and we've been very, very active with active in collaborating with our safety partners with regards to a number of programs. And I'd like to highlight the Welcoming Streets pilot project that has been underway for 2022, and we're very, very eager to see that project continue for the 2023 and future years. I also wanted to highlight, again, Activate Downtown Brampton is a big project that we've been doing to bring more life and activity and vibrancy to our streets, but it's also to address various safety concerns through this Activate program. And of course, we're always advocating with regards to lighting and cleanliness. We have a downtown business chat group, and we work with a number of community partners, being Peel Regional Police, the Region of Peel, Regeneration, Grace United Church, Homeless Healthcare, and more. So I did want to highlight some of those with regards to our safety initiatives. Next slide, please. Okay, this slide is, I'm going to go into the budget. So for our 2023 BIA budget, we are looking at a proposed 2023 budget of just $647,846. And you'll see on this pie chart the breakdown, and that shows you from admin to beautification, marketing, events, to salaries and benefits, the breakdown based on the proposed budget. Next slide, please. Okay, some of the highlights with regards to our budget. I did want to start by saying when we break down the budget for the BIA, the tax levy is for 2023 earmarked at $333,386, which represents 51% of the proposed budget. I did want to also highlight that there's a number of lots of support with regards to the work that we're doing with the city and our budget. So in our budget, there is a marketing partnership grant of $40,000 through economic development. The city of Brampton assists the BIA with regards to rent relief of $23,000, and the BIA levy impact of the city purchased buildings in the downtown core is approximately $61,453. And I did want to also highlight the in-kind event support that the city provides to BIA, and we're projecting approximately $12,702. So that represents, when we do those totals, just a little bit over $137,000, or 21% of the proposed budget. And above and beyond that, we do a number of sponsorship programs with our business community, and we've been successful with a number of grants, and one being the Canadian Healthy Communities Initiative, whereby the BIA was successful in receiving a 3-year grant in the amount of $250,000, and we're projecting to spend approximately $180,000 for the Activate Downtown program for 2022. Next slide, please. And this is our last slide, and this is the breakdown of the BIA budgets from expenditures to revenues, and you can see that the BIA does spend quite a bit in the beautification, marketing, and events area. And I did want to say we are a lean machine. We have 3 staff, and we do in my experience, having worked for other downtowns, quite a bit with the amount of money that we have in our budget. So I did want to say I'm happy to answer any questions. I do have our treasurer here as well, and a few of our board members if there were any questions from the public at large.
Thank you very much, Susie, for your presentation. I do not see any questions on my list. Mr. Fay, do we have questions from our members participating online? Very good. So we have a motion moved by Councillor Keenan to receive Delegation 6.1 and Delegation 7.1. Are there any opposed? And that carries. Next, we may have a desire to recess this meeting early due to weather conditions, noting that members of staff have been here throughout the day as we met earlier today. And are there any members who wish to continue the meeting, or shall we recess and allow staff to be able to head off early? Councillor Pleshy.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yeah, I think we should call it a night. It's still getting bad out there, so allow everybody the opportunity to get home safely and reconvene and
Okay.
shovel the snow. Anybody wants to shovel my driveway?
Any comments from members online, Mr. Fay? No. Okay. So we will just go through formality. Are there any public questions from members of the public to the clerk? Are there any public questions?
There are none, Mr. Chair.
Very good. So to members of the public who are listening to this meeting right now, and to staff and members of committee, this committee stands in recess until tomorrow morning at 9:30 a.m. Thank you very much, and safe drive home.